There you go. All right. So once again, welcome to the first 40 days, Sacred Postpartum Care. And I am Dr. Akua, your instructor for today. Okay, so let's talk about the first thing in postpartum. We have now named the first 6 weeks after birth as the fourth trimester. And this fourth trimester, literally, it's 42 days. But for many of us, that term of 40 days is significant, and we understand it to be a very sacred time because when you commit to something for 40 days, you have the ability to affect constant and permanent change. And so when we say 40 days, we want to know that what we are doing with mother in the postpartum should be something that is consistent and enduring and nurturing for her and her baby. So what's most important in the fourth trimester is the PMES recovery. P meaning the physical, M meaning the mental, E meaning the emotional, and S meaning the spiritual. Because when mom goes through birth, all of these aspects of herself are challenged. She's challenged on a physical level with the womb waves and the pain that she has to endure. On the mental level, she has a lot of people around taking care of her. And so oftentimes that comes with a level of mental stress, especially if something is not quite right, or she doesn't feel a certain way, or someone's not acting right in the birthing room. Okay. And then also on an emotional level, because she is dealing with so much pain, sometimes the emotions can flare up in a positive, overwhelming way, and sometimes they can flare up in a negative, overwhelming way. So once baby gets here, then everything changes. Absolutely everything changes. And then when we talk about spiritual recovery, this is her finding her peace in her new life with her new baby. So at the doula house, what we've done is we've broken the first 40 days up into phases. And the 3 phases that we look at, and we wanted to give them a very catchy name so that those of us who are working with mothers in the postpartum can remember what these different phases are like in terms of mother's recovery. So from day 1 to 14, which is the first 2 weeks, you are looking at what we call the homecoming. Whether mom has birthed at home or whether she's went out to a birthing facility or a hospital to birth, baby is now here. And so baby has a new home out in the world. Mommy is coming home to a new home because of baby's presence. And so this is the homecoming. And on a physical level, making sure that things are ready for mother when she gets home, or making sure that things are ready for mother once she decides to get up and about if she's had a home birth. So preparing the home is important in the first 14 days. It would not be good for mom to come home to a house that is in disarray. Although, of course, we know that is the reality for some women. But again, if you are the support person when when mom comes home, then this is one of the things that we look at, making sure that the homecoming for her and baby is as pleasant as can be. Now, on a mental and emotional level, mom is thinking first and foremost, most of the time, about making sure that baby is safe and cared for. And mom is probably not thinking about herself being safe and cared for because her major concern is baby. So one thing that we do is we make sure that moms knows that she has extra hands, and that her homecoming is designed for her comfort and her care, as well as baby's comfort and care. So in the home, a lot of arranging is done to make sure that things are convenient for mom. If there are those who are there helping her after she gives birth, making sure that everybody knows what their roles are in terms of mother and baby's care. And not only that, I really don't ever want to leave dad out or partner out when it comes to the care in the homecoming, because they too are coming home in that same type of frame of mind of starting a new life. So emotionally during this time and mentally, a lot of thought goes into baby and what baby needs. And so ensuring that mother has, again, everything handy would be a very good thing. It's a lot of joy during the first 2 weeks. Everybody is happy. A lots of congratulations is coming in. A lot of recalling of the birth and how it went, and the stressful moments, the things that they got through during the birth. All of that is happening on a mental level. It's a constant replaying of tapes of the birth experience, and then the overwhelming joy of seeing that beautiful little face and nurturing and smelling that beautiful little baby. Babies smell so sweet, and they're so fluffy and just absolutely beautiful. So, there's a lot of joy. And then by the time we get to day 15, which goes through the 28, we're looking at something that's called the after party. Okay. And so in the after party, that's when things begin to get serious. During the homecoming, baby is sleeping a lot. There's not really a big demand. Mother is learning how to latch if she's breastfeeding, or she's learning how to schedule baby for the bottle feedings. But in the after party, something else happens. And that something else that happens is everybody becomes now familiar, and they now have an outlook of baby's growing demands. And so sometimes when those growing demands of baby, whether it's a fussy baby or whether it's a quiet baby, the aspects of mom's thoughts and actions are around making sure that baby stays satisfied. And as the postpartum care during the after party, that comes in with making sure that mother also is satisfied as she is trying to satisfy the baby, because more demands are now being made because, by the time day 15 comes, pretty much everybody has done the congratulations and they've gone their separate ways. And now mom and dad are left with new baby plus all of their other responsibilities. So literally, the party is over. And during that time is where the organizing of baby, mom, and life begins to come in. And then when we get to the third phase of the first 40 days, is the days of our lives. Ideally, the routine should be set. This is what we do. This is how we do it. This is how we have in the after party made everything in an organized way to where, we get up, we have breakfast, we're up at night. We've worked out that kind of schedule where if the parents are bottle feeding, then, maybe they're rotating on who gets up. All of that takes place in the 29 to the 40 days. So these 3 phases that parents go through, it's unmistakable. It's always going to follow that pattern. And there are different types of support that are needed in each one of these phases of the first 40 days. Now, when you're caring for a mom in a normal birth, it's different than when you're caring for a mom that has had a surgical birth. So, caring for a mom in a normal birth is helping her to adjust to the new norm. And one of the things that we have seen in working with hundreds of women over the last almost decade with the Doula House is that they require three things that I personally have noted, and that is a clean environment. They want to be cute again, and the consistency of the routine in their lives. So when you're caring for a mom in the normal birth, keep these three C's in mind: clean, cute, and consistent. Because she doesn't want to have to get up and wash dishes. She doesn't want to have to scrub toilets. So if there are helping hands that you are guiding in the process of supporting mom, then you delegate those kinds of things to those who have said, yes, I've come to help. And then depending on how mom feels about herself, she wants to be cute. She wants to get back into some of her clothes that she hasn't been able to wear for a while. She wants to get her hair done. So she wants to feel beautiful after she has had a birth. One of the things that I love about postpartum care here in Ghana is that all women who give birth, they are dressed in white. Babies are dressed, and this is for the first 40 days. They dress in white. They have little cute earrings and jewelry, and they have a little white umbrella. So when they wrap the baby on their back and they go out, you know that this mom is being taken care of. And it's all about making her feel beautiful after that super hard journey that she went through. So that cuteness cannot be undermined because most women want to, again, feel like their normal selves. And every mother loves feeling beautiful. Now, the consistency part, again, is helping her to establish that routine, the getting up, the making sure the other children in the household are taken care of, and seeing how it can really work with baby being there. Okay. Now, for caring for a mom after a surgical birth, this is adjusting to the temporary discomforts. After a surgical birth, the body itself is in pain. And depending on the type of surgery, whether it was an episiotomy or whether it was a cesarean, both of those can be very painful afterbirth experiences. So the one thing that we need to be able to provide to women who are recovering from a surgical birth is patience, time, and service. Those are the three things that she needs the most. And when we talk about patience, it's really coaching her, because even though she's had a surgical birth, depending on the type of personality that she has, she wants to get up, she wants to do things, but then she's dealing with the pain. So coaching her on being patient with herself is extremely important. And also making her aware on a mental level that the pain that she's feeling, the discomfort that she's feeling, it is time that she has to give herself in order to recover fully. So then that leaves this third part, which is where we as postpartum care providers come in, and that is service. And for mothers who have had a surgical birth, we need to make sure that things are at her fingertips. Literally, the bottles are by the bedside, in the warmer. The food is brought to her in the bed where she's not going around, and giving her body time to rest. So that service piece, and I'm talking about full service, and that's something that has been lost in our society of what full service is. So full service means I am at your call, your beckoning call. Whatever you need, just let me know, because the body is going to let her know through pain and fatigue that she's doing too much for herself. So the service is top one: patience, time, and service. Now, for every mother, some postpartum care pointers that we want to provide is less resting in bed is always very good, at least for the first 24 to 48 hours. Okay. Warm clothes, because mom's body is going through a very rapid change. Warm clothes for baby as well will help her to avoid any type of shivers, um, catching any type of cold. So making sure that the body stays warm is very good for mom in postpartum. Soft foods and soup. Mom should not be eating any heavy meals. So if she's asking for fried chicken, then offer her a chicken soup alternative. But those foods that help the digestive system get back to normal is what she should be most looking for, or being provided for her during the immediate postpartum, at least for the first 2 weeks during the homecoming. She should avoid those heavy meals, especially things like the fried foods. Baked fish, baked chicken, those kinds of things are okay. But anything that's going to slow the digestive system down, staying away from the cheeses, those are clogging for the digestive system. And anything that slows it down, okay? There was a chat that came through. Yes, good morning, Naima. The recording will be available on our YouTube site. Thank you for that. All right. Then another thing that's important for mom's digestive system during the postpartum adjustment period is slow eating. Okay. And that is one of the reasons why many indigenous cultures provide soft foods, because you can't eat those fast. If you're given a spoon and soup, you're going to take one spoonful at a time. Okay. And that's going to help your body to adjust, because when the baby was born, the whole digestive system completely set itself aside in order to do the work of labor. And that is one of the reasons why many times we tell moms not to eat heavy, heavy meals during labor, because there is the potential for vomiting and there is the potential of defecation during labor, which of course can be embarrassing for mother, but it is something that is completely normal. You want to limit cold and spicy foods. Again, we're trying to keep the body warm, and we're not trying to shock the digestive system with spicy foods, which can sometimes create runny bowels. Okay, and then that creates another time that the digestive system needs to reset itself when it has gone through a spicy food bout. And then another thing for all mothers is to limit visitors. Only those people that she wants to see, that she has provided permission for them to be there. But, if the whole neighborhood's coming over every 4, 5, 10 minutes, that's not good for her. So she needs to have limited visitors, especially within those first 2 weeks, in order for her to fully recover mentally, physically, and emotionally. So in the postpartum, when we look at the physical changes that mom's body goes through, the stretch marks and the linea nigra begin to fade. And the linea nigra is that very dark line that goes down the middle of the tummy. And the reason why that line develops is because it is a concentration of melanin. And anytime melanin accumulates in the body, it accumulates for protection. I want you to think about it. If you cut yourself and the cut is healing, you see a dark circle that accumulates around that cut. And that darkness is melanin, because melanin is one of the major repairers of tissue in the body. So the linea nigra fades because it's no longer needed. There is minor pain in the tailbone, the coccyx, because it did a lot of work during labor. Mom may experience some shortness of breath, but that too will go away. Increased urination because her body is releasing fluids. She also may have a little bit of swelling of the legs, the hands, and the feet, and that's perfectly normal too while the body is getting rid of the excess fluids. She may have stinging and painful urination depending on how well the vaginal area, the urethra, and the labius fared during the birthing process. She may also have some hemorrhoid flare-ups because the anus also went through certain levels of stress and pressure during the birthing process. And it's okay. She can definitely use different types of hemorrhoid flare-up remedies, such as the witch hazel pads. Um, cool packs in that area is perfectly fine too. Bowel movements should return to normal in 2 to 3 days. And what is a normal bowel movement? A normal bowel movement is every time you eat, you have a bowel movement. If you're eating 3 meals a day, 3 bowel movements a day. If you're eating 1 meal a day, 1 bowel movement a day. Okay, that's what a normal bowel movement is. She may also have mood swings because, she is going through an extreme release of hormones during the postpartum period, and that's normal. She may also have spontaneous uterine contractions, especially if she's breastfeeding, because the womb is working its way back down to its normal size. Then she may also have period-like pain in the wombs, which is the body discarding any excessive tissues that were left inside of the womb after the birth. She may also have headaches, especially if she had a long labor. So if she was pushing 24, 36, 48 hours of labor, then sometimes those headaches will come as a call for the body to rest. And then she may also have joint pain, again, that goes along with that sore coccyx, where the ligaments and the bones and the joints are coming back into place. And again, that is all perfectly good. So in terms of being mother support in the postpartum on a physical level, how can we help with the physical changes? There are several things that we can do. And one of them, which are time tested in many cultures around the world, is a full body massage. I can speak more thoroughly about what we do here in Ghana because that is what I'm most familiar with. And every single day for the first 2 weeks, mom either gets a full body massage, massaging the legs, the arms, the abdomen, the back, giving her a nice little head massage, massaging the scalp every day for 2 weeks. So that full body massage is important to providing circulation for the fluids to leave her body. That's the reason why we're doing it. And also to stimulate the lymphatic system so that her body is able to fight off any type of bacterias, infections, or anything that might develop in a minor way after the birth. So the full body massages are very beneficial. And that's something that I noticed in Western birthing that women don't get. Women don't get that kind of special soothing touch that is needed. Yes, we're there. We provide meals, we provide conversation, we take care of baby while mom gets up and showers, but there is no touch. And that touch for mom can be very sacred and soothing. So if you are a worker, a birth worker in the postpartum, putting that component of touch and, you're not a massage therapist, it's okay. You can still rub with a little bit of shea butter or mom's favorite oil with a little touch of her essential oil essence for her. You can still provide a little bit of rubbing as well. Then the belly binding is also good to help with the ligaments and the joints and putting that back into place. And the belly binding also kind of goes along with the closing of the bones ceremony. If anybody is familiar with that, if not, look it up because it too is a very nice way of helping mom's body to return to normal. I won't go into depth about it here, but with the belly binding, it helps with the pain that can happen in the hips. It helps with bringing the womb back to its normal state. And it is very beneficial in terms of just making mom feel secure. And here in Ghana, one of the belly binding technique that we do is we use about 6 yards of fabric. And that fabric is wrapped around mom's tummy and her hips for about 4 hours a day. So she's got to sit still and be served. And then after that, it's loosened and it's done again the next morning. And again, it just helps strengthen mother's body. So those kinds of physical benefits and therapies that we can give. Then the peri-rinses, the spritzes, and the washes, especially if mom has had an episiotomy or if she's had some minor tearing, then that will help with soothing those areas of as those nerves start to fuse themselves back together again. And then maternity Reiki is a copyrighted therapy that we have at a Life of Peace Wellness Institute. And it's actually a class that we train postpartum workers as well as any birth workers and even family members. We train them in postpartum working. Reiki, it is a very soothing technique that helps with mom's physical, mental, and emotional well-being throughout prenatal, birthing, and postpartum. Okay, so maternity Reiki provides a soothing way to help mom relax by exchanging and providing a positive energy flow to mom's body. Because one thing that we have to take into consideration when it comes to the healing process, healing needs positive energy. And so maternity Reiki is one of those positive energy therapies that moms absolutely love and crave. We can also provide herbal poultices and herbal teas for mother to drink. If she's breastfeeding, we want to provide some of those teas, and I'm not making any recommendations. That's something you'll have to do your research on. I will say that I do like a very popular brand that is called Mother's Milk. And that's still, I'm not recommending it, but I am letting you know that that is one of the ones that I use quite frequently. So the herbal teas that will help with stimulating the milk for breastfeeding. Also, if there are herbal tea, if mother is not breastfeeding, there are herbal teas that will help with drying up the breast. And also, there are herbal teas that help with the circulation of mother's body and building up her blood. And again, if you've taken any type of postpartum training courses, whether you're a doula or a birth worker, most likely they have given you information on those. So, that's not this presentation. And then the poultices, again, the aromatherapy from the herbs are very soothing, especially if mom is having aches and pains in the neck or the back. Putting those healing poultices on those area with the warm packs is very, very soothing. So those are some of the things that we can do to help with the physical changes. Now, when it comes to postpartum, emotional and mental support, we often group those two together because, the emotions directly affect the mind and they also directly affect the body. To tell every mother, sit down, stay in the bed, especially if she's had a normal birth, that might not be the best thing. So I want you to always consider mother's personality. If she is a get up and go kind of person, and she really wants to now begin to move around, excuse me, don't force her to stay in the bed, because forcing her to stay in the bed goes against what her mind, her body, and her spirit, excuse me, is saying to her in terms of how she's feeling about herself. So if she is that, excuse me, if she is that, let me get up and make my favorite omelet because I know how I like it to be made, and I appreciate you all preparing me some meals, but this is what I have a taste for from my own hands. Let her do it. Okay. If she feels like she wants to get out and just do her own little run to the grocery store and she's feeling physically, just stand by her side. You guys go out to the grocery store. So consider mom's personality, because being bedbound is not what has to be absolutely best for every mom. I recently birthed a mother here in Ghana, and the very same day of birth, she was up, moving around, ready to go. I mean, she was took the baby to the pediatrician the next morning after the baby was born. So and she was up and ready. And then when she got tired, based on our instructions, she got in the bed and laid down, because we coached her and let her know, listen, your body's making adjustments. And the one thing that you can do, even in all of your busyness as a new mom, is listen to your body. And another thing that I want you to also be able to do is listen for stress cues. So if mom is doing a lot of uh, mm, those kinds of things, that means that something is not right with her. So listen out for stress cues. Learn to read emotional body language too. You know, learn to read when she's rolling her shoulders, or she's rubbing her neck, or she's slumped over with her head in her hands. You know, learn to read those emotional body language, because sometimes just may need to be asked, how are you feeling? Is there anything I can help with today? Let her know that it's okay to receive care, because there are some mothers who are so busy that they feel like they have to do everything, even though people are there to help them. So let her know that it's okay to receive care. Those offer body adjustment education, all of those physical changes that we just talked about in terms of what her body's going through. She may not know that. So let her know this is why you are feeling this way. And also let her know it's okay to say no as well. So if just taking this picture, for example, if, auntie is coming over with a cake and, aunties go and slices the cake and brings her the cake so that she can eat the cake, but she really doesn't want the cake, let her know it's okay to say no, not right now. I appreciate you bringing it. I appreciate you serving me, but I'm just not interested in that right now. So let her know it's okay to say no. It's okay to say no to everybody about anything if that is what she needs. And then one thing that we have to consider in today's society is removing the distractions from resting. And that includes the electronics. Okay. So not only removing people, not only removing, you know, things that are in the way, but the electronics. Everybody wants to be on the phone, everybody's taking pictures, all of those kinds of things, but that can be a distraction when it's time to rest as well. So encouraging mom, don't worry about the phone. When you get tired, put it on silent, put it aside. Anybody who calls or texts or WhatsApp or SMS, whatever, you can deal with that once you get up and you're ready. Because I have seen moms constantly on the phone and not even thinking about resting because of that electronic distraction. So, encourage her to do that for her own health, is to remove those kinds of distractions from rest. Now, what can you do with helping mom or with mental and emotional support? Be a listener, okay? Sometimes you just have to hold space and just be there. And sometimes mom doesn't even want to talk to you, and that's okay. It's okay for you as a person who's helping to honor her silence and just be there. And this mother that I recently birthed, she needed silence. I think I probably said only about 10 words the whole time she was going through labor and birth because that's what she needed. She didn't need to be talked to, she didn't need to be coached. I only talked when she asked me a question, and that was perfect for her. So sometimes you have to honor the silence. It's not keeping a happy conversation going. Nope. If she needs silence, it's okay. And also hold her confidence. Okay. If she's feeling a certain kind of way and she has confided in you about things that are going on, hold her confidence. It's not necessarily you that needs to solve any problem that she has, but she was confiding in you and letting you know that this is what's going, this is how we are, this is whatever it is. Just hold her confidence and keep it, because that too will help to build trust as you go through those 40 days with her. And then bring nature. One of the things that I know most women enjoy is having something natural in their presence when they're recovering. So it may be drawing back the curtains so that she can see the trees outside in the yard. It may be putting a vase of flowers in the corner so that she sees it. You know, it may be having some live foods. So bring nature is also a way of stimulating mental and emotional health. And of course, positive encouragement. You know, if she's feeling down, that little pep talk can help. The gift of laughter, you know, especially if you have a knack for saying funny things, bring it in. Okay. Give her a little bit of time to laugh, joy. If you see baby doing something funny, you know, bring it to her attention. So bring that gift of laughter too. And again, we go back to that cute where we say, tell her she's beautiful, you know, and let her know that the beauty in her is shining. One, because she's a new mother. Two, because she's a beautiful person. Okay. So tell her that she's beautiful. Moms love to hear it. Sometimes they don't hear it enough. And, you know, one of the things that I like to do for my moms is I like to bring them a beautiful gift when I'm visiting them for like their little 6 weeks checkup. And I love giving mom and baby matching waist beads, especially if it's a little girl. If it's a little boy, I give a matching bracelet for the little boy's wrist. So they absolutely love it. And again, it makes that connection between her and the baby when they are wearing something pretty that is the same. Okay. All right, beautiful ones. So that brings us to the end of our presentation. And I want to open up the floor for maybe about 5 minutes of Q&A. And a Life of Peace Wellness Institute is a nonprofit organization, and we do operate based on tuitions and donor support. So we always encourage those who attend the webinars that if you have it in your heart to donate any amount, we would welcome you to visit us online at alifeofpeace.org/donate. So I'm going to look in the chat box and see if there are any questions, or either you can definitely open up your mic and offer any questions that you might have. Anybody? Okay, yes, Naima, Ghana is in Africa. It is, absolutely.
I didn't know that that's where you were working from.
Mhm.
That's so interesting. But the question that I do have is when the mother has received I don't know what happened, hemorrhaging, where they had to have the vacuums and everything in them to clear up all the blood. Is it suitable for her to do is it a sitz bath? I forget if I'm saying it right. A sitz bath or a bathe or anything like that if she's feeling I don't know, I think it's muscle pain by the perineal area.
Mhm.
The baby was 9 pounds.
Mhm.
And it was a swift delivery. I mean,
Mhm.
it was one contraction and she just pushed the baby out. And then it was just like from then on, um, she started hemorrhaging. Good thing they found it in the time that they did, but she's always complaining of this pain in the perineal area that when she's sitting too long, she has to stand up.
Okay, so that would not necessarily be related to the cis bath, okay? Because what I'm hearing you describe is her body's going through physical recovery. And so the hemorrhaging, usually that when a woman hemorrhages, that comes from the womb itself, right? And then the perineal area which is a separate area from the womb. That area there, usually if there's pain there, it has to do with the joints and the ligaments and the muscles and the bones in that area of the body. Okay. So a sitz bath would mainly give relief to the outer yoni area. Okay. But if she's having consistent pain in the perineal area, then that is more like an interior as it relates to muscles, joints, and pain. So, and the sitz bath is not even necessarily to take away the pain. The sitz bath is designed to help with making sure that that area stays clean, and it provides a barrier for infection to occur in that yoni area. So that's what we're talking about when we talk about a cyst bath.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, so those are two different things. Yeah.
Oh, thank you so much for that.
Absolutely.
And did say the doctor said that exactly to what you said, that she received two second degree lacerations there, but when she this week checkup, the doctor said that the determination of the lacerations, like the doctor underestimated that the tissue still needed to heal, and that is causing the pain there because um, the lacerations may have been deeper than was told.
Oh, okay. So, her body will take care of it, but if she didn't receive the proper stitching with deep tears,
Mhm.
then that could also have contributed to a little bit of the blood that was coming out, as well as the length of the recovery time. But her body will naturally take care of it. It's just going to take a lot longer.
Oh, the body is so amazing. Thank you.
Yes, absolutely. Okay, any other questions?
Is there an email or a way to contact you in case I say, don't you want to think? Don't you want to
Oh, yes, yes, yes. I'll put my contact information in the chat box. You can reach me at akua at alifeofpeace.org.
Okay, you said at this website here. Oh, okay, I see it.
Right.
Okay,
Thank
thank
you
you.
very much. Claudia put a message there. She said she didn't have any questions, but she gracefully appreciates the information. Thank you, Claudia. Let's see.
And I can see this recording on your YouTube site.
Yes, you
Okay.
can. And as soon as it processes, well, today's Sunday, so they'll probably upload it tomorrow on
Okay,
Monday.
and what is the site? I would like to subscribe.
If
What
you
is
go
the
to YouTube, you look up A Life of Peace Wellness.
okay? All right then. Well, thank you so very much. I think I found it. Okay.
Oh, all right, beautiful. Sharon, you have your hand up?
Yes, I do. If you were to, like, I have a thought, if you would want to give the postpartum support and services, would you suggest the type of environment? If you're creating an environment and maybe you may have more than one postpartum mom here, what are some of the things you say should definitely be within that parameter.
Let me make sure I understand the question. So you say if you're going to, it's if you're creating a postpartum environment for different types of moms?
Well, yes, from they're not different types of mom, but all the moms would be postpartum, but in the place that you set up. Because not just for one mom. Are you just postpartum much, would you say, if it's done within the person's home, rather than just a place where a mother could go? She may have children, this may not be her first birth. She may have children at home and other things going on at home, just to give her that first, if not 40 days, maybe 5 days, 10 days. What do you think would be a good environment? You want to set up your own, say, your business, and this is what you do. This is what you give postpartum mothers.
That's a very good idea. We don't have any postpartum care centers.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
We do not have any postpartum care centers. Most moms will do their postpartum at home, but I think in some communities that might be something that might be needed.
Okay.
Yeah. So, well, if I just thought of a postpartum care center, then of course it would be home-like.
Okay.
It would be all the comforts of a nice home where, like you said, a mother could come, whether she's coming on a daily basis and going home, or whether she's coming to stay for, let's say, a week or two. Then I would make it the comforts is a full service, comfortable home. Let's just put it like that.
Okay.
So she wouldn't have to cook anything. Meals are provided. You
Yes.
know, the bed is comfortable. There's a little entertainment where she can watch TV if she wants to. Yeah, I would say that. There would be a therapy room, if she wanted massage. Yeah. It would be like a postpartum home. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much,
Very,
Ananda. Thank you for
very
this.
nice idea.
This was really nice. Thank you.
Well, all right, beautiful ones. If there are no more questions, then once again, I want to thank you all for joining me today. I really appreciate the time that you've taken to spend learning about how to care for women and be postpartum support, whether you're a professional birth worker or whether you're just someone who cares for those that you know who are birthing. Again, we would appreciate any donations to the Doula House, and you can do that at alifeofpeace.org/donate. Again, thank you, and you all have a great day. And please do check our website for the next webinar that's coming up. We will have the links for signing up posted by tomorrow, since this one is done. And we look forward to seeing you all again. And don't hesitate if you need any information, resources pertaining to postpartum care or anything related to birth, wherever you are. Take care now. Peace and blessings.
Thank you. Blessings.